Good people, it's the next day. You guys probably just saw the seasoning and getting the membrane off of the ribs after we cut them in half. Today's another day, and today has been one very interesting day with the silverback, and we'll talk about all that once we get the ribs on. It's currently going on 12:40. I started at 11. I'm just not being able to get the ribs on. So, like I said, I'll move you in real quick. We'll get the ribs on there. If we need to touch up any spots that may have rubbed off, we'll touch up any spots with the same rub that we used yesterday. I got the pellet tube going. It's just burning itself up right now. It's got another about 2 more minutes or so, then it'll be ready to go on. Okay, good people. So, as I was saying, today's already been a very interesting day with the silverback. Let's talk about everything that we're going to do today with these ribs. So, went to Sam's Club, picked up a 3-pack of baby back ribs, and brought them home. Took them out of the bag, of course. Took that membrane off the back. 2 of them had the membrane on them. One of them did not have the membrane on it. When I took them out of the bag, and so that one kind of caught me off guard because I think the first one had a membrane on it, the second one didn't, and the third one did. But in any event, we took that membrane off of there. We then put them in an aluminum pan, as I always do with a lot of my different meats I do, and we seasoned them with this famous Dave's rib rub. I've used this on a lot of different ribs. I personally like it. It's simple. This was supposed to be a simple barbecue rib video, essentially. I didn't want to go overboard. I didn't want to make it too complex, because I'm just doing a series on just simple stuff for simple things. But like I said, so we took the membrane off, we rubbed it down, and then we put it back in the pan. We let it brine in its own in the rub that we're going to use today. We let it brine in that overnight. I wouldn't say it's exactly 24 hours. It's maybe about 18 hours since we let it set in that rib rub, that famous Dave's rib rub. And then from there, we pretty much got the sear back fired up after all that ordeal at 11 o'clock today. Got the sear back fired up, and we got the ribs on. Today we are using char hickory pellets from Lumberjack. I pretty much only use Lumberjack pellets on this grill. I may try some different brands in the future. I've used Grilla Grills' pellets. They're good. For the first time that I used the grill, I used Traeger. Never again. I've talked about that before. But today we're using Lumberjack's char hickory. And we do have the smoke tube going, as I think you guys should have seen in the earlier portion of the video. If not, you'll see it later. We got the smoke tube going, and we got the hopper, of course, filled up with char hickory as well. Just because I like hickory and I want to see how that comes out. The plan was to cook at 180 for a good 3 or 4 hours until I got the color that I wanted on the ribs, because I wanted to get a lot of heavy smoke, a heavy good smoke ring, deep smoke from the char hickory, so I can get the naked truth of char hickory. If you kind of catch my drift, I wanted to get as much char hickory as I could on the meat. But this is dinner tonight, and that's why I started at 11. Start a little earlier, so that if it did take longer than 6 hours, fine. It would have been ready by maybe 6 or 7 or 5 or 6 tonight. But since we didn't get the ribs on until 12:40, if you're counting 6 hours, that's 6:40. That's if it takes 6 hours. But that's exactly why we have we got the silverback set to 225 instead of 180, because with all that snafu this morning, I didn't want this to drag out too long. Like I said, this is dinner, so if we try to have dinner in between 5:30 and 6:45, just with all this quarantine and everything going on, we're on more of a regular schedule, but we don't want to get too late, because of course we got kids and they want to do their kid stuff after they eat, and they just get on a kind of sugar crazy rush type energetic spree that I don't know where they get it from, because they don't really get sugar in their dinner or their food in any way. So I don't know how they get this sugar rush, but they just have this massive burst of energy after dinner. And so we push dinner up a little bit so they have time to run that energy clean on out of them so they can go on and go to bed. But anywho, we're going to cook this to tenderness. I do think that I'm going to wrap. I don't know right now, but I think I am going to wrap. We did cut them in half. Why did I cut them in half? Like I said, I did want to get as much char hickory flavor on the ribs as I could, and I figured if I'm gonna cook at 180, might as well go ahead and cut them in half. That would help them to cook maybe in the 6 hour time frame at 180 until it was wrapped, or until we got the amount of color that we want on it. But like I said, my plans have kind of gotten all changed up, so my guess is cut in half where they are at 225. It's probably gonna take about 2.5, maybe 2.5 hours to get the amount of color that I'm looking for. Whether that happens or not, we will see. I'll bring you guys back. You guys will watch this step by step as I come out and check. You guys will see all that. But I'll bring you back out when it's time to spritz, just to keep these baby backs moist. So with that being said, I will see you guys in a minute. Okay, people, it is 1:40. Been exactly 1 hour since we got the ribs on here. Now it's time to take a look, give a little spritz. What I'm using is a little bit of fruit juice. It's like a pineapple apple juice. Okay, good people, it is currently 7 o'clock. These ribs have been on since 12:40, so right at 6 hours and 20 minutes. I was real conflicted. This was going to be the simplest barbecue rib video I've ever done. It was just going to be no wrap, nothing fancy. But I even posted on the Grilla Grills page just to get some insight from some guys that have done no wraps, because I haven't done a no wrap yet. And so I decided not to wrap, then I decided to wrap, then I decided not to wrap, then I decided to wrap again. So essentially what we did is at the 6 hour mark, at the 5 hour mark, after we did that, about 20 minutes after, it had been 5 hours, I just brought the pan out, the same pan that we had initially had them in, and just took it inside, cleaned it out. These pans are great. We reused 1,000 times as long as you clean them out. I threw the ribs in there. I cranked the heat up to about 325 on the silverback, and I threw the pan back on the silverback, and let it just cook. And an hour later, ribs are really tender, and they pull back from off the bone. And now it's time to sauce. They've only been on here for maybe 10 minutes, and now it's time to sauce. So I'll bring you in. I'll let you see them real quick. Okay, good people, we are currently looking at 7:30. It's late. It's a late dinner tonight, but that's okay. Kids got their sugar rush out of the way beforehand, so hopefully they're going to be okay with even sweet ribs. But anywho, I'm going to get this out of the way because I got a timer running, and by the end of that time, I hope to be done with this part. I got the grill turning itself off now. I already have it at pretty much sitting at 300, but from the last time you saw me, I glazed his ribs that one time. I'll show you the sauce when we get inside. I glazed it a second time. I let it glaze for about 25 minutes or so. Of course, just to let that barbecue sauce set on it. When we get inside, we'll talk about a few things, and we're gonna get to cooking. I mean, get to eating, because I'm freaking hungry and I'm excited about these ribs. But let's see here. This one looks pretty good. Oh man, look at that. Just beautiful. Look at that. Oh man. Now, go ahead and take a little bite. I know you guys like to see that. That's a beautiful rib, guys. Nice clean bite. Got a good smoke ring top and bottom. Pull away from the bone. As you guys know, that's how I like my ribs. I don't like falling off the bone ribs.
Okay.
Taste the sauce. That's beautiful. I don't know if you can ask for better ribs than that. So guys, because it's late and it's dinner time, I'll just make a post on the video detailing anything that I may have missed. But I'll see you guys next time. We got to get to grubbing. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.